love lifers? Welcome to the Purple Couch. I am your host Sandile Bahoyi, Maranani Nyazi, Ningangibiza ngosanza lapho emakhaya. A huge shout out to you if you have viewed the first 2 episodes of the Purple Couch, and even a bigger shout out to you who's currently watching this live. I mean, we're on the 3rd episode of the Purple Couch. 3rd already? Really? 1, 2, 3? Bona, arhlodlala muna, size ngomsebenzi. Nonke niyayazi hashtag yethu, right? For those who don't know, hashtag the Purple Couch is how you find all the discussions on social media. Go ahead and follow us as well at Love Life NGO. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'd like to thank the National Department of Health and the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture for joining forces to power the future. The Purple Giant wouldn't be what it is today without you. So grab your juice quick fast and sit tight because today's show is nothing short of amazing. The theme for today's show is all about what women want. Women have been doing the most when it comes to achieving their dreams. They are hardworking among many other attributes that show that they know what they really want more life in. So let's take it back to thanking the likes of Helen Joseph, Lillian Goy, and Sophie Williams for their hard work. Shall we? So today's word on the street is all about getting to speak to young women and girls ekaslako about what they want. So do join in on the conversation.
Ke rata go dumedisa botlhe nna ke nna ngwanyana wa Motswana o bidiwang Nkgomotse. Well, as a young woman in South Africa, I would want gender-based violence to end. Like, it is with such great sorrow that we get to wake up every day in the morning and tune into our televisions, watching the news and hear reports about women being killed. It would be great to wake up one day and find that there is no thing called gender-based violence.
Hi, my name is Tolpatso. I'm 18 years old and I'm actively all about human rights. As a woman of color in South Africa, I demand more equality, like women wage gap, law enforcement to crises such as toxic masculinity, and the elimination of limits that have been put to women historically.
Now, there's a lot of women who've impacted my life. I mean, my grandmother was a rock, yo. Imbogoto Young Mbela. Had it not been for her, I don't even think I'd be here, fam. But enough about me. Tell us about who would you like to celebrate, not because it's Women's Month, but every day of your life. Now, I do know you got a few that you do admire. Wozanazo, comment, share, or shopper hashtag the Purple Couch on Twitter. We have put together a remarkable caliber of women from the 50s to the 80s, highlighting their achievements. Travayi.
There is one sign that the government will certainly attempt to make some changes. Whether they're going to be of great importance or not is another matter.
I don't think this man I think life would be terrible if you planned what you do in life and what will become of your life.
Asibonge lapho komama benza izinto zenzeke. Nani lapho emakhaya, we see you doing the work that you do. Keep pressing, keep pushing. Now, what would the show be without our young chats by the Purple Couch? I mean, it is the Purple Couch after all. It's that time of the show where I bring you top-notch interviews, getting you to learn a thing or two about different industries. And today, it's no different, fam. Vandaag, keep our feet. Now, joining me today is a Banyana defender, Nomathemba Ntsibande, and later I'll be talking to Babalwa Latsha, who is the Springbok's women's team captain. Joining me today is a Banyana defender, Nomathemba Ntsibande. Welcome to the Purple Couch, my sister.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, for the sake of the viewers out there, they do see that we do comply and we have our mask. Can we just put them on our lips so that we can be able to articulate properly?
Sure.
Now, Nomathemba, you are a Banyana defender, but you started your journey at the age of 7. Namachens da ekaslako lokubashanya parts lokufasile in the 18 area. Did you see yourself where you would be today?
It's yes and no. And I would say no because I think at that age, you are not 100% sure as to what exactly where you want to end up. And I remember very well that football was not the only thing that I did. I was into athletics. They wanted me to play netball as well. So there was quite a number of things that I was doing. But I believe that football was the calling. That's what I always say because it was the one thing that I did more than all the others. So at the end of the day, I can say that somehow I knew that I was going to end up here.
Well, we glad that you chose Itiski. And now you won your first major tournament at the age of 16, representing Gauteng, and you went on to go play in the USA. Can you tell us a bit more about what that journey meant for you as a 16-year-old?
I was actually 14. Wow. So what we used to do is we started playing inter-regional and inter-provincial tournaments. So we had the Nike Under-16 tournament, which was played within Gauteng. And I remember the first year, we lost it. We lost in the finals against the city of Johannesburg as Eguruleni. And the very next year, which was the year 2000, you see now I'm even revealing my age. The year 2000 was actually when we won it. And we went to play the championships in USA. And I think for most of us, that was actually where we started taking our football serious. Because for the first time we traveled in an airplane, which was something, which was something that we had not done before. We've never even went on any of our South African
provinces, let alone.
Exactly, you understand? For the very first time we went to the USA. So that was the turning point and the turnaround for most of us. And it's actually the one thing that put things into perspective for us because we knew from then the opportunities that we were going to get within the space. So I think that's when most of us started taking our football seriously.
Wow, I mean, like you going there playing for under 16 while you were 14 years is something. It clearly means good to you are that good of a centre back. Now, you have been in sports from a very early young age, and I commend you for your achievements. Shout out to you, and I salute you. Now, moving forward, how would you say that you could lead those who aspire and those who look up to you?
I believe that we have the responsibility to obviously take them in our wings because we also had people that were behind us all the time, that were supporting us, that were giving us everything that we wanted. We all know that back then women's sport was not that much, it was not taken seriously, you understand? it took for us to be pushed to make sure that we perform to our highest level. And I believe that things have actually gotten better over the years, but it's also our responsibility to make sure that all the upcoming youngsters know exactly what is expected within the space, within the game, and generally within the sports industry, and to push and make sure that they also do more than what we did.
And reach their full potential.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you are on another level. No, I mean, on 2019, you won the Gauteng Sasol League. The following year, not even the following year, I mean, but you won the SA Sasol Championships, which has got you qualified for the Sports National Women's League automatically. Now, what's next for you?
Firstly, as a team, we're obviously very excited because the previous season we missed out by very little margin on winning the league. So when we won it the last season, we actually were excited about it, and we knew that we had to do everything in our power to qualify for the Senior National League because we believe that's where we belong. Some of us have been in the game for so long, we've done so much for the game, and it was about time that we actually also got an opportunity to play in the SAFA Women's League. So we are happy about it, even though the pandemic has kind of delayed it, but we are still hopeful that we will actually begin before end of this year.
Let's hope it'll definitely happen. Now, what do you think that the sports industry needs to do to accommodate more women?
For most of us, we've been crying about equality. Like the very same things that are done for the guys, we believe that they have to be done for the women
ladies
too.
As well, yeah.
The amount of sponsors that go towards men must also come through to women. So for me, I'd say equality. In everything that's done for men, it has to be done for women as well. The same support, the same amount of support that they receive, we must also get. Because at the end of the day, it's the same talent, it's the same sport that we are into. So I believe that the playing ground should be level for all of us.
I feel you and I hear you in that regard. Now, what would your words of encouragement be to young women out there who are doubting their sporting capabilities and their sporting talent?
I would advise that, for me, confidence is the basis of everything. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to trust your abilities. You need to believe in what you are capable of doing, because it then shows out. It means that you allow other people to do the same. Other people can believe in you as well. That's what you need, especially when you play in sports, especially team sports, because you need the trust of everybody else around you. So I would say that they need to find ways to give it out, that confidence, because that's where you start believing in yourself, and obviously you are able to do the best you can to your full potential.
I hope nizwile lapho emakhaya, you do gotta believe in yourself in order for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, are there any other organizations out there that assist young women and girls in Makasana to further push their sports so that they can be able to harness it and blossom out there?
I hope there is, because I think the sponsors that we've had over the years, they've had contracts, and when the contracts ended, it just ended. You know, Sasol has been the one company that has supported us throughout. So I'm hoping and praying that more organizations, more companies come through, and they also play their part in assisting us to go even further.
Now, lastly, can you tell me about the women who've impacted your life, Nomathemba?
I would say it's my family. There was a lot of females. My mother has siblings of women only. So those were the people that have always pushed me. I believe that even at times when I doubted myself, even at times when I was falling short here and there, but they were always the ones that were encouraging me, even on my education as well. So I believe that those are the people that have impacted me. And I also want to give a special mention and shout out to all the women that are doing everything in their power behind the scenes to make sure that women's sport is taken seriously. It's taken forward, and not forgetting my fellow footballers, because I don't think people know or understand how much it takes for us, how much we sacrifice just to play the sport that we love. You understand? Some of us have to go to work before we go to training. Some of us have to go to school before we go to training. It's not a daily thing. It's not something that we wake up to as we would love. So shout out to the women that are doing everything in their power to make sure that we stay relevant and we do what we love the most. And I believe that things will only get better.
Yeah, shout out. And Nomathemba, I could talk to you the whole day, and you definitely inspire me. Shout out to you. Now, for the masses out there who would love to interact with you, where do they find you in these social media streets?
Okay, Slankane on Twitter, Slankane on Instagram, and it's Nomathemba Ntsibande on Facebook.
I hope you all had that and you did take your notes on this very fruitful interview. From Nomathemba and myself, I thank you, fam.
Thank you for having me.
Right about now, I'm about to interact with the Springbok women's team captain, Babalwa Latsha. But she won't be joining me in studio. Khululeka fam, cause that's no train smash. We are living in a digital age. I'll be interacting with her via Zoom. Let's get it. How are you doing, my sister?
No, 100%. 100% Ndiapila. I'm very well, thanks. In good health, which is something that I'm grateful for.
Too bad we are not able to have you in studio to rub shoulders together. I would have loved it.
Yeah, no worries. I think what we're dealing with is quite unfamiliar and understandable. Of course, now I would have loved to have rubbed shoulders with you guys, but it's just not possible currently.
Yeah, now, Babalwa, man, I mean, you've captained the Springboks women team to qualify for the World Cup that's happening next year in 2021 to be held in New Zealand. Can you tell us a bit more about that journey?
Well, that journey started in 2014, actually. When, as the Springbok women, we took a break from international rugby purely because we wanted to redevelop our rugby and to grow it as much as possible in preparation for the World Cup to take place next year. And, we've gone back to the drawing board and decided to introduce rugby to young girls in schools, which we now call the Youth Training Center. So I think that has, culminated in the Springbok women qualifying for a World Cup, and with the crop of players that you see today. So, in all honesty, it started 4 or 5 years ago, and we are reaping the fruits of it today. I'm glad the plan is coming along the right way. Hey, now tell me, what are the top 2 lessons that you are taking away from the journey that you've journeyed through qualifying the Springboks team? I think the first one, in all honesty, as a leader, is first to lead from a place of selflessness. There is nothing that I do and that I've ever done that purely benefits Babalwa Latsha. Everything I do is for my team, is for the Springbok women, it's for my community, and it's for my country. And I think that is one of the greatest lessons that I've learned as someone who is involved with women's rugby and from a leadership perspective. I think the second one as well is is the fact that I've developed a love for my people, my community. I'm from Kailija, as you know. And I genuinely love my community. I genuinely love my country, and I honestly would love to see nothing but the best for women in sport in this country. And more specifically for my community. And I try by all means to be an active member of my community, give back to my community as much as possible. So I'm what you call a patriot, man.
Yeah, asibulele kulo ndawo. And now I want to dive into leadership a bit more now. From the ages of 25, Babalwa, you've been a captain. Now, for young girls who are watching out there, can you tell us a bit more? What does it take to be a captain?
Well, in my experiences, look, I've captained quite a number of teams: the University of the Western Cape Women's Rugby Team, Western Province Rugby Team, and latest the Springbok women. And it's not an easy task. If I have to be really honest, it requires a deep sense of self-awareness, and it also requires to an understanding of the fact that there's nothing that I can do on my own. I need to consult. I need other women as well in my circle, to be able to be a good leader. And I'm so grateful for the fact that I've been surrounded by such phenomenal women who have been of great assistance to me, not only as an individual, but as a leader, as a team player as well. And I think the key thing is that to have people around you who have the same goal and who are goal driven as much as you are.
Yeah, I'm glad you do have that circle around you, hey. Now, you were SA's Women's Top Rugby Achiever of the Year in the year 2017, and you were Western Cape Sportswoman of the Year. But to name a few achievements in your name, what motivates you to keep going?
I think my biggest motivation is always why I do what I do. And I always go back to it. I always revisit just to keep it clear as to why. What is the purpose? Why do I do what I do? And I think the answer to that is clear. First of all, I love what I do. But what is greater and goes far beyond than that is understanding that what I do influences people positively. I know for a fact that there is a young girl somewhere in Kailija or Mount Frere or rural Eastern Cape, watching and admiring and aspiring to follow suit. And that in itself for me means a massive lot. It means that, I'm in a position to inspire youth more specifically, young girls in just, being involved in the sport that is so male dominated. But moreover than that, my biggest inspiration is the fact that I'm in a position where I can contribute to the grooming of a new generation of young female sportsmen who are fearless and who ultimately grow into young leaders.
Yeah. Now, I'm glad you do have that source of motivation that keeps you going, that keeps you waking up and doing what you are doing. Now, can you tell me, what do you think the sports industry needs to do to accommodate more women?
Well, in all honesty, sports, our society in general as a whole, needs to do better when it comes to women, but more specifically women in sport. I think that as women in sport over the past 10 to 15 years, we've made some significant strides. We've come a very long way. But I think that we have an even longer way to go, and it takes a collective effort. We need everyone to come on board, so that we can advance women in sport and push the women in sport brand as much as we do the men. And, so there are people who are doing that consistently, like G-Sport, for instance. They play a very, very important role in ensuring that women's sport, the spotlight is constantly shined on women's sport. And I think that, it's time that we take bigger and bolder steps in this country in terms of, on this continent as a whole, actually, in terms of advancing women's sport. Now is the time that we do that. And the future of women's sport is extremely bright. But I think that we all should, put our hands on deck and say, hey, it's high time that we started supporting women's sport a lot.
Yeah. Now, for young girls who are currently watching this, what would your words of encouragement be to young girls out there who are doubting themselves, who are doubting their sporting capabilities and talents?
I've been there. I know it all too well. I think the most important thing is to understand that you have a God-given talent, you have a God-given gift that no one can take away from you, and that should be the source. Everything that you do, you are very, very worthy of all the accolades, all the support, and all of the appreciation and recognition that you get and should be getting. So continue to push forward and to strive for greater and better things, because there is a whole generation of young women who are looking to you, who are looking at you, and who are inspired and who are drawing strength from your life story. So very important that young women, young sportswomen find strength in that and can continue thriving and pushing forward.
Thank you for those words. I'm sure they are taking notes out there and they are making sure that they beat whatever it is that's challenging them to get out of that box and do more and be great. Now, going into the World Cup, what is Babalwa, the captain of the Springboks women team, aiming for?
I've got such big goals for myself, but more than that, for the whole team. I think that it's not enough that you go and compete. I mean, go and participate, but we want to compete. Remember the last time the Springbok women participated or competed in a World Cup was in 2014. We missed out on the 2017 one, so now is our time. Now is the opportunity for us to put women's rugby back on the map and to stamp our authority in world rugby.
Yeah.
So my goals for the Springbok women as a whole is that we go out there and we do the best that we can and challenge and take on the best in the world, because that's honestly where we can be able to see where we are currently. And you never know, we might just come back with the World Cup like the men did.
Most definitely we will. I believe in you and I'm inspired, and I wish you nothing but the best for your future endeavors. I mean, I so wish that the lockdown can end so that we could be there cheering your name in that World Cup. Now, before we leave this, where do people can interact with you in these social media streets?
Well, I'm all over social media. On Twitter, it's at Babalwa Latsha, one word, Babalwa with a capital letter and Latsha with a capital letter. On Instagram, it's Babalwa_Latsha. On Facebook as well, it's Babalwa Latsha. Everywhere, people should follow. I do follow back and just interact and learn more about women's sport and South African women's rugby. And I look forward to hearing from them.
Yeah, Nkosi, and good luck with all your future endeavors. Thank you, and thank you again. All the best with your future.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the platform, and salute you. Thank you very much.
Salute. You thought we were done? Nah, fam. We still want to dive into what you had to say on these streets.
Hello everybody, my name is Neo. So what do women want? Women want to feel free, we want to have our own money, and we want to feel safe and protected. And we also want to be able to express ourselves fully without it being interpreted as something else.
Hello everyone, my name is Precious Mulabati, and what I want peace, I want happiness as a young woman. I don't want to walk on the streets with having a fear of being killed, because people are being killed, women are being killed these days, it's crazy. Women's life also matter.
Now, I would like to take this moment and thank and appreciate our guests for gracing us with their presence, Nomathemba Ntsibande and Babalwa Latsha. Remember, the conversation continues. It's hashtag the Purple Couch on all socials. Let us know what you enjoyed on this episode and what you would like us to discuss on the next episode of the Purple Couch. How do you do that? It's simple, fam. You just gotta comment down below and hit that subscribe button over there. Now, before I leave you, I'd love to drop my favorite quote by the late Winnie Mandela. It goes thus: to those who oppose us, we say, you strike a woman, you strike a rock. Watinta bafazi, watinti mbogoto. From me, Sandile Pahoi, danke please.
What had a dream of being a chartered accountant very early, again being exposed to my father's businesses.
I grew up in a world where a woman who looks like me, with my kind of skin and my kind of hair, was never considered to be beautiful.